In order to confuse the narcissist, and you can control him, this is how to deceive him. Are you tired of enduring the manipulative tactics and control of a narcissist? Ever wonder if there's a way to counter their strategies and come out on top? I'm here to provide the solutions you've been seeking, so stop second-guessing. Hello there. In today's session, I'll share with you 5 practical strategies to outsmart a narcissist. But before we dive in, I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever tried to outmaneuver a narcissist? And if so, how did it go? Share your experiences with fellow survivors in the comments below. Ready for some actionable advice? These 5 strategies are designed to significantly enhance your effectiveness. Bid farewell to the feelings of being confined and controlled by the narcissist. Notably, the 5th strategy is the most potent and intriguing, so stick around until the end. Get ready to reclaim your power and outsmart those narcissists once and for all. Our journey together is just beginning. So hit that subscribe button, and let's kick things off. Let's kick off with the first point. If you've ever engaged with a narcissist, you're familiar with the ease of falling into their snares. It becomes a relentless cycle of positive and negative memories, ensnaring you in their grasp. Even though a part of you recognizes the toxicity of being around them, your heart yearns for them, if only for fleeting relief from the pain and turmoil they inflict. Despite the darkness that consumes them, you persist in justifying their behavior, holding on to the hope that there's some goodness within them. But here's the truth, my friend. This approach only harms you. Granting them repeated chances, getting entangled in their psychological games, and convincing yourself of their benevolence only leads to self-deception. This is particularly perilous when co-parenting or entangled in a legal dispute. To break free from the enchantment, you must see them for who they truly are, not the idealized version you wish for. Let's be honest. What you truly desire is harmony, cooperation, and respect, qualities they are incapable of providing. They lack the ability to perceive their own potential, or the potential of your relationship. Investing your energy in the futile hope that they will see it is draining. It's time to recognize that their true essence is the darkness you've witnessed, and everything else is a mirage. So take a deep breath and focus. If you're reading this, chances are you've endured the cycle of abuse with a narcissist. While it may be challenging to witness, certain patterns tend to repeat themselves. To comprehend how their malevolent actions have tainted everything, you must release the whole of blissful memories. Recall how they enticed you with an angelic facade, only to transform into a devil once they had you in their clutches. Once you see them as someone who doesn't have your best interests at heart, you gain the upper hand. Their charm and deceit won't mislead you any longer. If they exhibit cruelty or callousness in front of your children or during legal proceedings, it won't catch you off guard. You gain more influence over the connection as you embrace the truth and accept the narcissist for who they truly are. Knowing what to anticipate equips you to shield yourself from their manipulations. Remember, once you recognize the enemy for what they are, their ability to harm you diminishes. You possess the strength needed to break free from their grip, because your resilience exceeds your perception of it. Next point. To navigate interactions with a narcissist successfully, it's crucial to respond rather than react. Your strength lies in how you choose to respond to their manipulation. In essence, they cannot impact you if you maintain control over your emotions. Identify their tactics aimed at manipulating your emotions, and learn to respond in a way that denies them the satisfaction they crave. For example, consider an email from the narcissist filled with malicious blame and projections intended to induce mental distress. They're seeking a reaction, a form of emotional supply, and it's crucial not to provide it. Reacting by explaining, defending, or counter-blaming only fuels their behavior and drags you deeper into their web. Instead, adopt a strategic response. Quickly scan the email for essential information, such as the pickup and drop-off schedule for your children. Respond solely to those specific details, disregarding any hurtful remarks. Take a screenshot of their offensive email as evidence, should you need it in the future. It's time to empower yourself, my friend. Strive for a balance between your emotions and logic, avoiding reliance solely on your feelings when confronting a narcissist. Let your wisdom be your unwavering guide, and learn to master and regulate your emotions. This approach will turn you into a narcissist's worst nightmare. Moving on to the third point. Establishing clear and robust boundaries is essential when dealing with a narcissist. This isn't just a suggestion, it's a survival necessity. Trust me when I say that having no boundaries with a narcissist is equivalent to inviting trouble. Establishing boundaries with these individuals is undeniably one of the most challenging tasks you'll ever face. Nonetheless, it's imperative to make the effort. You're contending with an unruly force, and it falls upon you to rein them in. Let's face the reality. A narcissist is not only a significant annoyance, but also an enormous source of trouble. Give them an inch, and they'll take a mile. Granting their demands will never satisfy them, and expecting them to respect your boundaries is akin to beating a dead horse. If you allow them unrestricted access to your children, they'll turn up uninvited every day of the week. They'll treat your property as if it were theirs, leaving you with the illusion that nothing has changed, causing considerable unnecessary distress. Hence, set boundaries that unequivocally communicate which behaviors are acceptable and which are not. Ensure there are consequences for their actions. Be firm, my friend, as there is no room for leniency in this situation. If you're going through a divorce with a narcissist and share a child, it becomes even more crucial to establish clear guidelines on how they can reach out to you and the frequency of their interactions with your child. Identify the root cause of your challenges in setting boundaries and take steps towards healing. Clearly state your position and strive to keep them at a distance. Moving on to the fourth point. Resist taking the bait. Narcissists thrive on playing the blame game, constantly deflecting responsibility to bolster their sense of superiority. Refuse to let their toxic projections affect you. When they attempt to blame you for something, resist internalizing it. Instead, reject and deflect by not taking it personally. It's crucial to recognize that their blame is often a confession of their own insecurities and shame. They highlight flaws in you to mask their deficiencies, such as dictating how you raise your children and creating elaborate scenarios to trap you. Resist the urge to explain yourself. Focus on parenting your children effectively, proving them wrong by living life on your terms. After all, how can someone so disconnected and lacking in self-awareness provide reliable feedback on anything? Bear in mind, never place trust in their perceptions, as they are distorted and entirely subjective. Their view of you is, in fact, a mirror reflecting their true inner selves. Rather than acknowledging their flaws, they derive pleasure from projecting them onto you. This brings us back to the initial point. Perceive the narcissist for who they truly are. Witness their disintegration as you see through their facade. Chuckle at their feeble attempts to control you and revel in the empowerment that comes as their manipulations crumble. With these strategies, the entire situation becomes amusing as their foolishness becomes abundantly clear. Now for the fifth point, the pinnacle of all insights. Leveraging their personality traits against them. Undoubtedly, this step is the most pivotal, yet can also be the most empowering for you. By assuming the role of an objective observer, you can maintain emotional composure while scrutinizing the narcissist's tumultuous emotions and dysfunctional behavior. This allows you to understand their patterns and predict their next moves. Armed with this knowledge, you gain a degree of control over their actions. However, let me emphasize, you don't need to adopt narcissistic traits to deal with a narcissist. Instead, identify their vulnerabilities and strategically use them to your advantage. For instance, you can leverage their desire to maintain a positive public image. Manipulating their emotions and exploiting their need for immediate gratification is what I refer to as a drip feed, and it can be highly effective. However, this requires thoughtful planning. Some may question whether this approach makes you a narcissist. In response, I ask, when faced with the inability to simply leave them, what other options do you have? Remember, the intention is not to harm them, but to safeguard yourself. It's about uncovering the truth and asserting your boundaries in a manner that aligns with your values. This process involves building emotional resilience and acquiring skills to manage your needs. So, take a deep breath, my friend, and let the healing commence. Share in the comments if you found this video helpful, and I'll catch you in the next one. Until then, continue using their vulnerabilities to your advantage and liberate yourself.